right. We are waiting to be live on YouTube.
Oh, I should go to my computer, right? Did you share it to my page?
You're fine. I will share it as soon as we get started here. It's live on Zoom. All right. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we get to talk firsthand with this beautiful, strong, unapologetic force to be reckoned with woman blossom into one of the most respected activists, community leader, and boss lady, Samantha Samijo Dato. Welcome, everyone. Tonight we get to talk. So here we go. With this beautiful, strong. I want to say welcome, Sammy Joe.
Thank you.
I have known you for so many years, and it's a blessing to watch you grow into the young lady that you are today. I'm so proud of you and everything that you have overcome and who you are. Just it's just a blessing to watch you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Life has not always been easy, but I've tried to live publicly and unapologetically. So thank you so much. I'm glad that my work and my life is has a value.
Amen. Amen. That's what a lot of us strive to have value and to be of service, right? Um, so let's get right on into it then. Um,
Okay.
yes. So can you let us know who is Samantha?
Samantha is a bridge builder, a lover, a passionate, affectionate, logistical mastermind, woman that is genuine and still learning herself. So yeah, that's who Samantha would be.
Okay, can you talk to us a little about uh, pronouns? Um, what is your preference? How would you like to be addressed for those who don't know you? How do you identify?
Um, I don't really get into that. If I have to go in a room and use pronouns, she, her, or goddess. But I do have a very feminine energy, but I am a tomboy as well. So I think pretty looks good on me, but I like rough.
Okay, can we elaborate a little bit into this goddess? Um,
Goddess is divine. Goddess is um has set with me because we use sister in our community too much, and we have relationships with people that we call sisters that aren't sisters. So I still want to respect you on the highest level, but that doesn't mean that sister we are. You know what I mean? Like, or brother, like, so king, so goddess, royal one. You know what I mean? Those are the things that I use when identifying people because everyone is not family or sister or brother.
well, thank you for explaining that. And since you brought that up about family, um, let's let's talk a little bit about family. Um,
Okay.
let's talk about your birth family. How was it growing up with your family?
We grew up in the ghetto. My mother strived to make it work. She definitely believed and worked and did her best as a parent. There was never a blueprint to it. I was definitely a unique child. I don't think my mother had the language and understanding of how to deal with a child who was so trans and so feminine. She did the best she could, so it was okay. My grandma is my heart. Um, I have a lot of god sisters that were raised with us, so our family has always been extended and always been big.
So, in your family, since you have a big family, where did you fit in as before transitioning? Like, how was that for you? Like,
and then
were you born in the wrong body? What was that like?
um I didn't have the answers to that. I know that I continue to find and gravitate toward more feminine things, towards more girly things. I like started getting in drag like at 5. So this has been as early as I can remember it. And this has been my truth ever since. So I went through the phase of like pushing my femininity away, and I came to the terms to embrace it. So I'm here now.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Did was your family, um, I don't know, angry, upset? Were they supportive of you doing drag, as you say? Um, were did they kick you out?
No,
Were they abusive?
um, our family had a lot of strong-minded individuals. So, like, I am strong-minded. It did not come from like, oh, you're the only strong-minded person. All of my family has been that. I can't say that in my early childhood, no one understood me. I didn't even understand. So, I don't think it was unsupportive. I think that I don't know what I think. Like being honest, I can't live in the past. It's made me who I am today. I'm thankful for every lesson learned. There's no grudges or like no family that I like, oh, I can't stand you or I hate you. So it's not any of that. It's me being in love with myself and accepting every turn that happened. It was complicated. It was complicated. It was. And now I'm here.
All right, since you brought up the complicated parts, um, let's talk about trauma in our in your youth. Let's talk about what that looked like as,
Um,
as the young you.
the young me is a survivor of sexual assault, abuse, bullying. Um, the young me is where I learned my strength. It's where I was most broken. I think that at times my parents or my family failed me when it comes to learning, understanding, or trying to be there. I didn't make it easy. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I made it easy, but yeah, we're here, and trauma is real. It was at the forefront of every intersectionality in my life. So I'm glad I'm trying not to live in a traumatic space.
I'm glad that you are not living in that space as well. So, do you consider yourself spiritual? I know a lot of the Black community very spiritual and they go to church. And what was that like for you growing up? Did you have a problem going to church with your family?
Um, I went to church. I was really church born. Like I definitely still listen to gospel as a it's a part of my culture and how I grew up. At the current time, I'm ominous. Like I believe in all religions. I believe that you can take a little bit of knowledge or a practice, and if it feels good to your core, then I'm gonna do it and continue to do it. Whether that be meditating, whether that be praying, whether that be fasting. So all of those things are important. I do believe in my ancestors. I believe my rites to passage. So yeah, I'm ominous and I believe in the deities and where the universe is gonna take me. Who knows what death looks like after death? So I'm not living in that.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, the deities and being spiritual, because we have Janae right here, right behind us, and
Yeah.
I know Janae was a part of your life, and can we talk about that part of your life, performing, what a lot of people don't know about, and can we talk about where you're originally from?
I am originally from Atlantic City, New Jersey. I am a saltwater taffy girl, a boardwalk strut. Big ups to the 609. Um, that is where I started an entertaining career as a female impersonator. Um, I won a couple crowns. Um, hosted my own show called the Dollhouse. And then moved on from that. But it was fun while it lasted. Janae has been a local resident in Atlantic City's performing world at the Studio Six, the Brass Rail, and wherever else for a very long time. So I got to watch a very skilled, talented woman manipulate and entertain, like jaw dropping entertainment. So it was great to know her. It was great to be able to watch and learn from her and to see some advice she had because she definitely was tough love. So yeah.
Yes, yes, we all love and miss her. So you talked about the brass rail and the titles. What titles did you have? And
I do not remember.
okay, okay. Can you talk
I
a little bit
don't
about?
like I know I was missing was it I don't remember. Um
Okay, that's all right.
at that season it was amazing. At that season, I put my all into anything that I do. I came, I conquered, I won, and I think I marked that off. I've had 3 crowns, and yeah, I cannot remember the names of them. Shoot me dead.
That's all right. That's all right. So, would you say that performing opened the door for you to be more, uh, how do you say, a person of like to be out in the community and to be able to engage in people? Did performing help you with that?
Performing was a creative outlet. Performing was being able to hit the mark, um, capture your crowd, and affirm my truth. So it was more for me confirmation. It was more like my yes, and it felt good.
Definitely, I can relate to that as a performer as well. It gave you that affirmation
Uh huh.
that this is possible and this is who I am. Yes,
Yeah, very much
great,
so.
great feeling, great feeling. So, can we talk a little bit about privilege, right? Because you
Yes.
you have, your family. You've been with your family. You still have family, and some people might look at that as privilege, right? let's talk about privilege.
Um, I understand my privilege. I have a lot of privilege. When we start to mark off these things, um, it is not bad that I have privilege because I take the privilege that I have and I continue to make sure that I am the voice for the people who are not in that room. Um, I continue to use my privilege to make sure that the underdog wins. Um, and I continue to embody it. Like I have become okay with privilege, and I do. Privilege is many, many components. Yes, we all have some kind of privilege. We all have some kind of um, area that we shine in or that um, sets us apart. So I think anyone with feeling bad about who they are, what entitlements and privilege they have, I don't think they should. I think they should really embrace it and make sure that they're doing good work with their privilege.
Right. That's a good way to put it. So, would you think passing, you know, is a privilege that is being, how do you say, put down? Like some people that feel that they don't pass, whatever that looks like. And has anyone ever came at you because you pass, and maybe they
Yes,
don't?
yes, I'm light skinned, I'm thicker in statue, but smaller in frame. But I I'm not entertaining those kind of conversations. I'm not entertaining um pointing the finger. I am based on solving problems. Like I hear the complaint and I'm committed to making sure that we come to some kind of resolution. So I'm not sitting around looking for those kind of negative conversations. So I don't those things don't cross my path. They're not in my inbox. Like we're not, you know what I mean, having kind of conversation. No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sometimes we don't, put ourselves in that type of conversation. It just happens. I've had that happen to me several times, where, oh, you're a trans guy? Oh, I would have never known. And I look at them like, well, does it make a difference? You know? So I'm glad we're talking about this. So let's touch on the part of dating. Since we're talking about passing and dating and this whole myth that trans women trick men when it comes to dating. Um,
Um,
let's what are your views? What are your views on that? That trans women trick the men.
I mean, I've seen it all. I've been around for a very long time, over 20 years. They have been women who were in relationships and that person didn't know. But that's not the case the majority of the time. Um, 99.9% of the time, that's not the case. People aren't running around tricking people. It is definitely hard dating. I am a hopeless romantic. I love love, but I'm also not settling. So it is very important to know where you're at and know what you want and um, being authentic with that. So when you're dating, I don't know how you could be authentic if you're lying. And I don't think that most trans women are lying to men. I think the men are backed up into the corner against all of their isms, their phobias, their toxicities, and all of those things, and what society is going to say. And they're killing us. They are taking their insecurities and killing us or treating us like a fetish. And we deserve love. We deserve to be happy. Like we're not at 2 o'clock I'm not your 2 o'clock booty call. So that life or that season has passed.
Thank you for bringing that up because that is one of the things that we would like to talk about. You know, that fetish that you know, trans women are, you know, that 2 o'clock booty call. So, how does one differentiate between a tranny chaser and I use that word terminology tranny. It is a derogatory word for someone to use, but how do we the men that like to date trans women? How do we differentiate from calling them chasers to just accepting that they are attracted to trans women, you know, trans attracted men. Like we've had many discussions about this on Facebook about how certain guys, certain stars have been dating trans women for many years, but they're considered tranny chasers, right? But how do you distinguish between this is just their preference, you know?
Um, I think everyone has a preference. Some people like tall people. Some people's ideal person must have brown eyes or light eyes. Some people love darker skinned people. I think everyone has a preference. Why are they chasers when we've been in and out of relationships? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Most of us have tried our hand at love or at relationships, and um, some of them worked, some of them didn't. So, um, is it safe to call someone a chaser? Promiscuous, maybe. Fast, yes. Patience, of course, but not, yeah, no one's a virgin. Well, there are virgins, but if you're not a virgin and you're participating in sex, then everyone has a fair shot at love. So that's my version of it.
Okay, so how can we shift the narrative of when the guys date trans women and it like doesn't work out and then oh well I'm gonna call this person and tell them and I'm gonna call that or I'm gonna go on social media and spill the tea and this that and the third or um you know how can we shift the narrative because there are more men that want to date trans women but they're reluctant because of the stigma behind it and they're being ridiculed and the trans women are sharing their pictures. Oh, this guy was in my inbox. Oh, he was in my inbox too. And so, I mean, like, how how can we switch that into um, he's not just you know looking for sex. He could be looking for you. He could be looking for a companion. But then when something doesn't go right, they're quick to go on social media and call him out and say, you know, he's a tranny chaser.
Um, Call out culture just to me is unnecessary. Especially when it's a relationship that has texture to it. Um, hurt people. And that's just not for trans people, that's for anyone. I just wish people would add more layers to dating and not jump in bed and you know what I mean? Like find out who a person is. All of those things are important. Will we always have call out culture? It seems like we will. Um, can we really shift the narrative? We're dealing with so many layers, so many people, so many backgrounds. That's not in my circle. But if I could tell a younger person, a best resort, then I would definitely share with them a different way than the call out culture or um, what their guidelines on love is. You know, like because they're cute don't mean they get in your bed, so it's very different. Y'all, I am hot right now. I am having an old lady hot flash.
That's okay. That's okay. I have hot flashes too. Just blame mine on the hormones, okay? But I'm glad you brought that up, and I want to talk about dating, right? Um, when is it okay, do you think, for a trans person to disclose that they are trans? You know, when you're dating, like as soon as you meet them on the first date, after the third date, when when is it the perfect time, or is there a perfect time?
There is no perfect time. It's when you're safe enough and trusting enough. Um, I think that it is a conversation, but I'm not gonna have that conversation with someone who I think is gonna kill me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna have that conversation not getting to know someone. I think like what's in between my pants is none of your business. What's in my underwear is none of your business. So no, I don't have to tell you all my business until I respect you enough and find you interesting. I may not even like you. So I don't think that that's what I'm leading or opening with in a conversation when dating. No.
That was great. Thank you for that. Thank you. So we know, or maybe some of the people that are watching don't know, that the life expectancy of a trans woman, a black trans woman, is 35. And we find out that these murders come from the hands of black men, right? Majority of them. Let's talk about that. How does that make you feel?
Um, being a committed person to community and showing up, I have honestly become desensitized. Like my emotional delay response, like is numb. Um, there's so much call to actions that need to happen. Um, most trans people are misgender. Most trans people are not given their proper name or they're using their dead name. So I have been on the front lines of rectifying or bringing peace to bringing respect to someone who has died. It never gets easy. I think that we are being killed and plucked off, and no one cares, which hurts. And who wants that? Who wants to be in a community where you feel like you're not valued as a human being? That's not, you know what I mean, fair. That's why I do this work. That's why I continue to show up or show myself because we're here being killed. So each death is hurtful. Each death adds another layer of numbing. Um, but it doesn't mean that we can't show up or that we can't be there for our community. So I continue to hold on and love on the people that I love on because you never know when they're gonna go.
That is so true. Thank you for sharing that. So, on the flip side of that, when a trans guy is murdered, why do you feel that, or if you have a comment about it, that people don't take to the street and it's not the same amount of noise as when a trans woman is murdered?
Murdered or in general? I think our community is very one-sided when we start to talk about trans men, period. Um, I think that um, a lot of people are fetishizing. It's the new it thing. I think that people are not treating men like they're human. Um, and it's old behaviors. It's the way that we were fetishized, you know what I mean? And now you're repeating the same pattern of disrespect and erasure, you know? So when we talk about trans men or we talk about why people aren't showing up for them, they're not showing up for them living. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people be like, oh, I don't get that. You know what I mean? Or um, start to talk about their genitalia the same way that cis people talk about ours. So um, yeah, that's a whole different, it's a beast because we definitely need to do more work. I think our community needs to show up a lot more for our men of the trans experience.
Thank you for that. So we want to, just piggyback off of that. So when you said murdered or just in general, so about 7 years ago, um, it was a young lady who was incarcerated, and the conditions were horrible, right? And she's out now, and she is doing great work in the community. But at the same time that this was happening, it was a young trans man that was raped, and he killed his rapist and went to jail. And there was no rally for him. There was no uh, nothing, right? So I can relate to what you're saying across the board. How the trans men don't get enough um, anything, as our women do. But it's it's something that should have been addressed, but how? When we are supportive of everything that happens in the LGBT community, right? LGBTQ plus community. So how can we shift the narrative? To be there. When something like this happens, and just so that the young man will be getting out within a month. He's been in jail for 7 years, and he will be out within
Congratulations. So I just hope when he comes home that he's loved and embraced and showered with affection and the things that he needs to exist. Um, being put in jail and then to come back out to this society during this time or any time is a really hard adjustment. Um, I don't know how we change the narrative. Um, I am committed to making sure that using my privilege and platform, I bring up and bring in to the conversation and always be intentional with um, trans masculine folks, with our indigenous people, with people with disabilities, with our immigrants, with our farm workers. I continue to make sure that the people who we don't think about and not me only or my girls only are at the table. I think we all deserve to leverage access and to be intentional with spreading wealth, knowledge, and power. So
All right, thank you for bringing that out. I appreciate that. So, since we're talking about incarceration, have you ever been incarcerated?
no,
No,
never.
no.
No. Mm-mm.
All right.
I
So,
am a very wild girl. I've definitely done some things. Um, never been incarcerated. I do advocate and speak for incarcerated solitary confinement. I think we should abolish all jails and prisons. Yeah, but I myself have not been behind bars.
that was going to be my question when you said that you've never been incarcerated. Yes, we should abolish jails and prisons. it's a money making team. You know, they're
Yeah,
locking people up. You know, for minor minor things. Yeah. So
yeah.
we touched on sex work, and I forgot to ask you, were you ever a sex worker?
What? Yes, I was a GMG, a get money girl. I left home at 14. Um, I was my first time escorting. I have always done sex work. Currently, I have um not been engaging in sex work for the last 4 years. That was the hardest thing to do. Sex work is work. It is definitely not only you giving yourself, but I think that it chips away at your humanity. Like I think people should be able to work and make money and be able to show up and not have to do sex work. But most trans women are doing survival sex work. Leaving home at 14, I didn't even know how to budget. So when we start to talk about what I was doing, I was surviving. And I had to survive. I luckily um, am not at that place anymore. And I try to give back as much as I can. And it definitely is a part of my story. It's made me who I am today.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm glad you touched on that. So you are for decriminalizing sex work. Uh,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. So what? How do you think the people that engage in sex work will react if it was decriminalized and they would have to um, do their taxes on this work? You know.
Um, the IRS is another black hole. Taxes, all of this money that we're giving back that we still are not benefiting from. City workers are losing their pensions. You know what I mean? Like we're not seeing this money. So like I can't say that decriminalizing sex work is going to make them pay taxes when most people are still trying to survive and they're doing sex work because of the fact that they're surviving. Most people are not eating. When I was doing sex work, I needed to pay for my hotel. I needed to get me a platter, like a hoagie platter with some fries. I ate half, and then by the time I woke up, I ate the other half. Like, what taxes? What do you want? Like, what? I don't get why
So basically, what I'm
thing.
going with is like with the bunny ranch, right? Um, those girls, they work, they're on the books, and they get paid to do sex work. So you have to file taxes because it's a job, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it like this, are they ready for this? That they have to, document every transaction, every client, and keep record of it. Since it might be decriminalized.
I think that that sounds amazing. Um, but I also think that we need to put a lot of financial literacy in our communities. Most people are not budgeting. Most people are only living paycheck to paycheck, um, making minimum wage or under minimum wage. Um, the government has failed us. We cannot, we want to decriminalize sex work, yes, but we also want to add some financial literacy so that people can take time off and heal and do what they must do to take care of themselves. So I would advocate for so much more financial literacy, so much more. Um, if you're going to tax me, make me understand why you're taxing me. Like, that's not a class. You know what I mean? And getting. So
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. And I'm glad you brought that up because that puts us into the next conversation of the work that you do and that you have done so graciously and for many years. Let's talk about nonprofit work. And you can start wherever you like with nonprofit work from when you started, how that was for you.
um oh, nonprofit work. Nonprofit work is game. Um I have worked on the East Coast, I've worked on the West Coast. Um I'm really sad at what I see in nonprofits, especially for our community. I think everyone's smoking mirrors, and when I say everyone, I am naming or I am talking about the numbers game and the fold. I don't think people are staying true to programs. I don't think people are staying true to their community. I think that a lot of executive directors should definitely have much more financial literacy and understand a longer shadowing process. I don't think you can take someone to a cliff and then push them off, which most programs are doing and not helping, not shadowing. Every step of my life, I needed help. Every step of my learning adult life, we need help. We need somewhere to go. We need to understand. We need to process, and we need to feel. So nonprofit to me is just dog chasing its tail. I do want to admire or acknowledge that there are some great people doing some work, but they're dismantling the system. They don't believe in like they're working outside of a box. Like Courtney Ziegler, like if we just naming Omega West, Lasaya Wade, like when we start to name these people that are taking agency over creative content, Tatiana from Chicago, is just important, and we have to move past asking for money from white people. They are still controlling our narrative. If we are not taking care of ourselves, they have not done a great job at taking care of us. And we keep doing the song and the dance and getting on our soapbox and living in trauma for money when we're trying to move past trauma. That's a contradiction to me. How can we heal a community when every grant we write is flooded with all of our trauma? And then you want to put us in a group or you want to put us in a place where we have to relive that trauma and we can't move past it. I think it's time that we take agency over our financial literacy, over our intellectual property, over the way that we navigate and move, because the government hasn't done it. Nonprofit industrial complex is just that, a complex. It has not done anything.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. So I'm glad you brought that up because we want to talk about tokenizing. Okay, and
Yeah.
yeah. So what does that look like for people that don't know, and these new advocates and activisms, that are coming out and stepping up? What does tokenism look like, and how can we, um, I guess, avoid being tokenized by these businesses and corporations?
Um, I have been tokenized. I have also deliberately fought off that organization by being one step smarter, always dotting my I's and crossing my T's in my work, and always bringing my community with me to the table. Everybody wants something from you. Like if you're working, they want something from you. They want you to come in. They want your numbers. Um, we have to start opening our own businesses and working for ourselves. And if we are working for the system, there's going to be tokenization involved. Um, we need to get out of it as quickly and as fast as possible because it's definitely not doing shit.
Right, right. I agree. So, how did you get into this nonprofit?
Oh God, who knows? I transitioned at Bally's Casino. I was a cocktail waitress. Um, I started off. This is before I ever went to a hormone doctor, so I fell into this because I had to advocate for myself. Um, I was brought up into the office and told if I'm transitioning, I needed to provide a medical note. Um, I know what transition it was. I just knew that this little fly Tony Braxton haircut was cute, and my little water brow was doing its thing. So I came into this survival. I came into this because I had to, advocate for myself. So from advocating for myself, I found a world of people that were being discriminated against, a whole community of people that had many of my same intersectionalities and needed a voice. And I think we got together and made it work and continued to fight.
What inspired you to do this type of work? Like, I know it just happened by chance because you had to advocate for yourself growing up. But what was that one thing that inspired you to keep going this route?
I'm crazy. I don't think anything. Ah,
All right, okay. So I'm gonna
whoa.
hold on, hold, hold on. It's all right. Take your time. Take your time. We're gonna take a pause right now, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk more to Sammy Joe. All right. So, for anyone that wants to know more about Samantha, you can find her book on Amazon. You can Google, and the name of her book, which she wrote about 4 years ago, Shattered Perfect, talks about her life, um, the trauma that she experienced growing up. Also talks about the work that she does and how the community can rise above, the disparities, and also who she is now, and what she's striving for as a boss. You know, Sammy Joe has.
Whoa, excuse me.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
I'm back. I am I don't know.
It happens. It's probably hot out there where you are, and it's okay. It happens, and this is a candid conversation, and these type things happen. When you're live, so it's all right.
Yes, you throw out my camera from a detox tea. Okay.
Listen, it's fine. It's fine, and you're still shattered. Perfect. Okay. So I was just letting the viewers know where they can get your book, and I'm still waiting for my. So let me tell the viewers a little story about this. So I purchased the book, and I wanted Samijo to sign it, right? So I purchased it and had it mailed to her instead of me. And I have been waiting about 3.5 years for this book, and we've been together so many times, numerous times, but she forgets to take the book with her so that I could get the book. But um, Sammy Joe, I just want to let you know that I already read it.
This is true. This
I
is
already
true.
read it, and
Um,
I just wanted to have a signed copy of the book.
I promise I will make sure that I have your signed copy. I will make sure that I send it out. I move like I have no excuse for that at all. That is definitely me falling short on people that show up for me, and forgive me for that. I apologize because that's not how you should show up. And I have fell short on making sure you get your book, your signed copy, and I want you to have that.
It's fine. Listen, I know in this work, right? We're constantly busy, and this
Oh,
happened, out of the blue, right? I have no idea um how I came up with this, but um, you know, it's just one more thing for me to add on to my list of things that I already am doing. Our stories are valid, and this is how the community gets to know who we are and understand that we're regular people, right? And that our lives matter. So before they, decide to discriminate against us and not hear us, these stories will be documented, for the future, for the youth to watch. There are many young trans people that want to get into advocacy work and they don't know how. And for for the life of me, I don't know why they would want to, because this is very hard. And majority of the trauma comes from the trans community, and it comes from the L, the G, the B, the T, and the plus, but you have to find out on your own. Yeah. You did you mute yourself? I think you have to unmute yourself.
oh. Yes, okay. That is totally um with reason. I think that we always need more people to show up and to be here and be counted and to be heard. I think hurt people hurt people. I think that it is important that we try to find the good and stay true to it. This work can be dark. This work can take you to some dark places. And I say that because um, I remember this work having a hold on me. And it wasn't a good hold. So I've learned and I'm relearning how to show up in a healthier way. I'm also learning what my capacity is and that it's okay to sit out some things. I rather show up wholeheartedly and on than not on, or with a piece of me not being available. So definitely, I want to show up all the way. So I'm learning to sit out and stay cool.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Whatever that looks like, sitting out, because I know I've been saying for the longest that I'm gonna sit down, right? And I'll be 50 in 3 weeks. And I'm still doing this. And now I just started a YouTube channel, to give the voice to the community so that they have a space to talk about
Yeah,
whatever it is that is, harboring on their heart, because this is good. This is therapeutic, and we need more of this. So, what is
Thank you for opening this platform and having like all of these conversations and bringing people to a place that they can be here. So yes, thank you.
definitely, definitely. So, what are some of the ways that you feel that some of the viewers watching can actively, support?
Support themselves.
No, support the trans community. We're still talking about, you know,
Um, there's always ways. Everyone says give money, but like if you have a talent, if you're a great editor, if you have legal skills, if you have space, if you have intellectual property you want to share, there's many ways to give. There's many ways to show up. And I think that everyone doesn't always have to show up just financially. Um, we need people to break up and break down stations or events and to be at the front line with that. There's all kind of ways to show up. I think that each person should get creative with how they show up, but like definitely it be something that they're interested in doing.
oh, that is so true. That is so true. What do you like best about doing this work? Ah,
I love that I get to change someone's life. I'm glad that I get to give tough love and they be like, you told me that I could do it and look, I'm doing it. And like because I'm always trying to give a word of affirmation. I'm like, did I say that? But I did say it and I remember it, or they remind me of it. So I love being able to plant that seed, that to spark that fire where people can know that anything is possible. So that is what I enjoy about this work. That is what I love in giving back. Yeah.
yes. So, what do you like least about this?
Um, the brokenness. The I it is sad that so many of our leaders don't know what healing is, and are not seeking healing. It is really sad that a lot of the people in the forefront of our community are not only broken but doing a disservice to many community members with toxicity and with their ways.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. So, do you consider yourself an activist or an advocate? And if yes, why?
I don't consider myself any of that. Um, those titles put me in a box um, of, that I don't want to be in. I show up as a sister. I am a mother. I am a cheerleader. Um, I am a harsh voice. I don't just want to be any of those things. I show up with all of me. So when I do, I just do what I do.
Yes, yes, that is so good. So uh so I guess this is human rights work, right? This
Yeah,
is just being you, the best
yeah.
way you know how to be to support the community. And so if there's something that you want the viewers to take away from this interview, what would that be?
If, if there's anything that I want you all to take away, it would be to continue to grow, um, continue to learn new ways to love yourself, continue to put you first, and find every adventure worth it. So that's what I want to. That's what I would charge all of you with. Definitely, definitely.
Thank you
I
for
lost you. Okay.
I was feeling that, right? So I like how you changed it to charge, you know, them to be that like it's our words are very important. And I'm glad you switched that up like that. And I appreciate you for coming up here and having this candid conversation with us today. And I love you. For the
You
viewers
too.
that don't know, we are family, and we go way back from the. I guess we call it gay family, right? Our gay family.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
we spoke about your blood family, but what does your gay family look like?
Um, I have some of the longest friendships with people. I don't look at family like I have a lot of extended family. I have people that would go into war over and for me. Some of them happen to be trans, but they're not all trans. They're not all from this community. I think you never know where your friends are going to be. And when you get a friend that's a true friend, make sure you honor and respect the friendship.
That is very important. And we have one question from
Uh,
one of the viewers that is watching. They said you are very pretty, and they want to
Thank
know
you.
if you're single.
Excuse me.
That was the question. They want to know if you're single. You're very pretty.
Thank you so much. I am definitely committed to doing this work. I am definitely invested in myself. Someone has my attention. Um, and that's that. Thank you so much, though. I hope that you see my beauty from the inside out.
Oh, there was another question right behind that. What is your preference when dating? What is your preference?
Um, my preference, as in men or women or cis or trans. Um, I um I've dated trans men. I've dated a couple cis men. I am currently attracted. I'm very attracted to masculine energy. A lot of people don't use labels or follow the binary. Um, that I've been attracted to. Um, and I'm attracted to healthy, respectful relationships. Um, I come loaded, and when I say loaded, I'm a Black trans woman that has endured a lot. I have triggers and traumas, and um, I need to be handled with care. So I show up in this life asking for you to show up with health and respect, and um, to be able to handle me with care.
Yes, yes, that is good. But I know you also well to be my little spoiled cousin, right? And I've had a hand in that. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Yes, whatever my cousin wants, we're gonna get it, right? Okay, well, I appreciate you again for taking this time out to be here and just talk to us candidly. And hopefully we can come back and talk to you again. And I just want to let everyone know, please go and get Samantha's book, Shattered Perfect, to learn some more about where she came from, the woman she is, the boss lady she is today. And
Yes.
there's so much more to her than we could cover in an hour. So thank you. Can you let everyone know where to get the book?
You can purchase Shadow Perfect on Amazon. Typing in my name. There are two books. Um, I would like you to get point one. That is the newest book that has a lot, 80, 49 new pages to it. Um, the other book I have dissolved that relationship, and now I rewrote the first book, but it's a three-part series, and we are coming out with the second book very soon. So stay tuned for that.
All right, I'm excited. So I guess I'll get both books. Yeah.
You'll have your book before the next book comes out. I'm about to walk over there right now.
Okay. All right. Walk on. Walk on. All right.
No.
I thank you. And I and I thank everyone for watching. This is my second show with Candid Conversations, and stay tuned for my third show that is coming out Monday, a special Memorial Day show with the one and only Christina Mother Tsunami Vega. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.